Not sure where to start. First one to tip my hat to Oklahoma. We've got a ton of respect for their program, for their university, for Coach Venables. I think he's an outstanding coach. I know I was really excited when he got hired, and I know he's the right guy for the job. And I thought both teams battled. I thought we got off to a really poor start from an execution standpoint. Struggled to get off the field on third down defensively. Struggled to get anything going and get into a rhythm offensively. Got down 14-0 early, and really proud of our players to be down 14-0 and to fight back and scratch and claw. They've done it all year, and I just couldn't be more proud of our players. In particular, our seniors who've been through a lot. They're fighters, and I know I'm proud that these are the people, these are the young men that are going to lead and serve as war fighters in our country. I know that. So super proud of our guys. Wasn't a particularly clean game for us on either side of the football, but we somehow found a way to get it done. So just really proud of our football team. That's a really good win for us. Getting 10 wins is something that hasn't happened a lot in the history of Navy football, and for these guys to get things turned around the way they did just speaks to the character and the resilience and the toughness and the grit and the passion of our football players.
All right.
Well, Coach, two things. Can you talk about the gutsy drive that gave you the lead? I mean, that was a really tough, very clutch drive, and then coming up with the stop on the conversion, Justin Reed breaking in to sack the quarterback and end the game pretty much.
Right. Well, I had to make a decision right there whether to go for it on fourth down or kick a field goal. We missed a 37-yard a little bit earlier, and so I felt good that we could get it on 4th and 3. I thought if we could go score right there, that might be the difference in the game, and it was. And so that was a great drive. We converted on some third downs and a fourth down there. That was obviously the drive of the game. And tell you, yards were hard to come by. And Oklahoma's got a really good defense. We knew that going in, and I think we 11 first downs. I mean, we had to fight and claw for every inch that we got. And defensively, I thought we bent, but didn't break. Until right there at the end, I had a coverage bust there on that last touchdown pass, but found a way to get a stop, and the sack on the 2-point conversion was huge.
Gene.
Brian, felt like Blake was a little bit off on his throws early. Then he breaks that 95-yard run off. Just kind of, what'd you make of him kind of hanging in there, and then finally broke open for him?
I can't say enough good things about Blake, and he did. He was off a little bit. We had some guys open. Nathan Kent, they busted the coverage early. If he just lobs it up, that's a touchdown right there. And then a little flea flicker that we ran, right? We had a guy wide open, overthrew it, just got overzealous, and he was off a little bit on a few throws today. And that's what I meant by we didn't execute, at a high level early on. Didn't play a super clean game. I thought, fundamentally on defense, I missed some tackles, didn't leverage the football, and you got to give them credit. I mean, the quarterback's a really good athlete, and we struggled keeping him contained, struggled tackling him, out in space. And but they're a really talented football team, really athletic, and it took us a little while to get adjusted to that. I thought they had a really good defensive plan, but we kept battling and kept fighting and found a way to get it done.
Coach, y'all went down 14-0 pretty early. What was the halftime message to come out, score 21 unanswered, and end up clutching up the game?
Yeah, well, we were down 14-7 at halftime, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So to get that touchdown before the half, and then we knew we were going to get the ball coming back out. At that point I thought, hey, we're in the game and maybe shouldn't be right now. So I thought we were fortunate to be down 7 points at halftime. Honestly, didn't feel like we played clean on really either side of the football. Didn't capitalize on some opportunities offensively, and struggled at times to get off the field on third down. I don't know what the percentage was, but we weren't great. But we did get a couple of nice fourth down stops. Obviously, the big stop at the end was tremendous. But just keep battling, keep fighting. Get the ball coming out first. We made some adjustments on both sides of the football and just tried to calm them down. And, hey, do your job, right? That's all you got to worry about. Trust your teammates are going to do theirs, and let's go play good fundamental football. And I thought they did a better job of that in the second half.
Coach, were you surprised they went for 2 at the end of the game?
No, I wasn't. they got a little momentum right there. They'd struggled to move the ball, after the first 14 points, or struggled to get in the end zone. So I thought that was the right decision by Coach Venables. I think I would have done the same thing.
Coach, you mentioned going down 14-0 when we gets the ball back. Did you sense a moment where that started to turn? Because going down 3 possessions can obviously just be disastrous.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we couldn't get off to a worse start. We kicked the ball out of bounds on the first kickoff and get the ball at 35, and we struggled with the tempo early on, and struggled, I think, with their athleticism a little bit. I'm not used to seeing. And there's good athleticism in our conference. Don't get me wrong, but for whatever reason, we were having trouble containing the quarterback, and the tempo affected us a little bit early, and they kind of nickel and dimed us all the way down the field. And to get down 14-0 early, obviously you're concerned there. You don't panic. You keep playing, and that's always the case, right?
Did you consider going for it on your last 4th and 1?
I did, yeah. Well, I thought we were playing well defensively. I thought we were getting off the field, getting stops, and if you convert that 4th and 1, the game's not over right there. I thought hard about it. If it was a little bit less than a full yard, we might have done it right there. But I didn't want to give them that short field. I thought we were playing good defensively, and then we get a good punt, and they get the clip, and so it ended up working out. I wanted it to, but they got back down the field, right? So you just never know. But I didn't think it'd be too smart to go for it from there.
Brian, after the trophy presentation, there was a lot of your former teammates and coaches from high school there to greet you. What was that moment like, just celebrating with them?
Yeah, it was awesome. I had a couple of my old high school coaches there, a couple of guys I played with. Obviously, some of my good friends from high school, good friends from college, at Baylor, and a lot of family here. So really appreciated the support.
Yeah, Brian, you hurt Oklahoma's defense with big plays. Maybe that's typical, but that's not the textbook. That's not the scheme that we envision when Navy plays. Grind it out. Did you know that big plays were how you were going to have to hurt them?
Yeah, when we've had offensive success in games that we've won, you look back and there's a goal we have for the amount of explosive plays, and that's a really good indicator of the points we score, obviously, and how well we play offensively, and we've relied on that throughout the year. But you like to be able to grind people out as well and take what they can give you. But I think Coach Karnick's done a great job all year of keeping people off balance and being aggressive with his play calling, throwing the ball at times when people necessarily might not think you're going to throw the football, and it keeps people honest and tends to open up the run game a little bit and keep those safeties back. But Oklahoma was aggressive all day, and we struggled to move the ball. Like you said, we had some big plays, left some big plays out there as well. But we did enough to get it done, and couldn't be happier about the win.
Anybody else?
Well, just now that it's over, can you kind of encapsulate what this season has meant for Navy football? It's a tremendous turnaround season. Commander-in-Chief basically accomplished every goal you can want.
Yeah, well, I think it's a perfect ending. You're down 14-0. I think it kind of symbolizes everything that these guys have been through, especially the seniors. Symbolizes how things started. Things looked bleak. Things weren't going great. Adversity, and they kept scratching and clawing and fighting and stayed the course and came out on top. And I think it kind of symbolizes the growth and development of not just these seniors, but this football team and the way that they fight, and couldn't be prouder.
In the back.
Hey Brian, you're from Westmore. You know all about Oklahoma and that program. What does it mean for you and for your program to come in and beat this Oklahoma team?
Yeah, it's pretty neat deal. It was surreal walking out there, hearing their fight song, seeing that red. There's no red like that, and seeing them on the other side of the field was a moment for me. Kind of a full circle deal, but. This game isn't about that. It's about these players and what they did today. But to beat a team like Oklahoma, regardless of what's going on with opt-outs in the portal and things like that, we don't have one young man in our locker room that was offered by the University of Oklahoma. And so what they did today was outstanding, and I'm just really, really proud.
Justin, just talk about making the final sack that basically caps an incredible season. That sack is what brings it into a great season, 10 wins, Commander-in-Chief's trophy, and then beating Oklahoma in a bowl game.
Yeah, it was a great play that I was able to make, but I couldn't have done it without my guys. We just made sure that we stayed composed. After them just getting a touchdown, we just fall back on our training. Everyone did their 111th out there, got the assignments done to put us in the best position. I'm just glad we were able to get that takeaway.
Blake, for you, just 2 questions. The first, can you take us through the 95-yard touchdown run? Obviously, and the block you got to go at the end to get in, and then that clinching drive where you go 12 plays and 66 yards. What went into that drive?
Yeah, just some probably over pursuit by them, and just some tendencies that they showed earlier. Just thought I could get it pulled, and then Brandon Chapman absolutely busting his tail to get his butt down the field and to make that block for me. I'd probably get tackled at the 30, 40-yard line if not for him. So I could see him out of the corner of my eye busting his butt, and it, honestly, it's almost not even my touchdown without him and the offensive lineman, everyone's blocking. And then that last drive, just everybody bought in, and it wasn't going to be one play that was going to break it open right there, and we knew it was going to be chipping away. They're a really good defense, and just everybody made plays on that drive. Chat made a play, Alex made a play, Eli made a play, and then everyone blocking their butts off again on the touchdown. Just amazing. Go back and watch that one again. Just freaking destroyed them up front.
As for Colin and Justin, it looked like Oklahoma came out a little bit differently than some of their tendencies. So, we talked a little bit about the up-tempo earlier. How did you guys adjust to that and kind of lock it down for the rest of the game?
We just had to settle down a little bit. I think we were just a little on edge at first, but then we calmed down and we adjusted pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with Colin up front. We have an assignment, we have a job to do. I think at first they probably might have caught us off guard, but we just had to resettle ourselves, get ourselves under control, and then go back to what our training was, go back to our responsibilities, yeah.
Yeah, Bill. Well, just going back to the drive that proved to be the game-winning drive, there's a point in the game, and I know how hard it was to gain yards against them, but it's a point when you have to kind of put the flag in the ground and say, this is it. If we're winning this game, we got to make a drive. Can you just talk about, like you said, you had to earn every yard, but you worked your way down the field, converted 2 third downs and a 4th down.
Yeah. It just was, a different feeling out there. Defense had a great stop, forced a long field goal. Obviously, he missed it, and it was just something different about that drive. We knew what we had to do, and just to be able to take a while off the clock. I don't know the exact number, but 7.5 minutes. Take the wear down their defense, which was something we hadn't really done the entire game. The one-play touchdown. I think we had a short field on Alex's touchdown, and so being able to wear their defense down a little bit, 12 plays, and get down there and score it was awesome for everybody. What about you?
No, I think that's something we preached all week leading up to the game. I think that's just Navy football, right? And I think, earlier in the game we were driving, the ball down the field, and I just think we shot ourselves in the foot a couple times and, got behind the sticks, and, that's something we can't do, but I think we just locked in a little bit more. We knew it was an important drive, like you said, and I think we just executed it. Really, I wasn't nervous or had a bad feeling about it at all going out in the field for that first play. I was pretty confident we could get it done, so definitely exciting.
When you see Blake breaking through the line, 95 yards open field for everyone, what's going through your mind?
I just hope he wasn't getting caught. He was he definitely late in the game. It's pretty hot out there. It's been a while since we played in that weather, but he's just that's a play that we know can hit big, and it did, and definitely exciting to see for sure. On that play, it's a read obviously for him, and he made the right read obviously, and to see him, I was slow. I was getting tired just chasing him. So you probably see me on the film, and coach will probably be chewing me out for looking slow. But no, it's great, and he's been doing that all year, and just the trust I have in him, and the offensive line and the perimeter just to get him loose, and he's a playmaker, right? And that's why he's so successful. But he does what he's taught, and so does everybody else, and that's how it works. So.
Was that one of the longest reviews you've ever, the anticipation of them originally saying you were down at the 1, and then?
Every single player ever is going to say this when a play's getting reviewed, but they're going to be like, I know I scored. So, you always think that. Obviously, I did. It was like, I think I wasn't down. But Greg Morgan Thaler, he told me, he's like, you scored, don't worry. And so I was like, okay, thanks, G.
Blake, how does it feel knowing when they say what's the longest run in this bowl history? It's your run.
I know, by someone who's not really that fast. There's plenty of guys faster on our team than me, and like I said, it's not the longest playing Navy history without Brandon Chapman. So, and the offensive line. So, just the opportunity, score itself. I'm going to give him some slack, but Alex Teska probably could have gone for 96 the play before it. But, it's all right.
Who else has one? Yep.
Blake, I know you have some throws you probably want to have back from this game, but what was the message to you on the sideline to kind of keep your composure and keep plugging?
Yeah, definitely a lot of throws I want to have back. Just the defense playing their tails off and keeping us in the game. Like Coach Newberry had said earlier, it felt like we should have been out of the game and we weren't. It was a really weird feeling, when two would come out in the second half and defense shut them out, and then to us, have a few opportunities and able to score those 14 points was big. So, it's just the unwavering faith that I have in the guys and our coaching staff and Coach Cronick and just everybody to execute. There was not a time where I was like, oh, this game's out of hand. I knew that 14 points wasn't going to win it. So,
Colin and Justin, you talked about leaving a legacy, and this is going to be a season that Navy fans will remember a long time, winning the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy, 10 wins, and beating Oklahoma in a bowl game. Can you talk about how satisfied it is to do what you set out to do?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of these guys. Everything that we met in the offseason that we talked about, that we wanted to achieve, we went out there and did that. So to do that with these guys, to finish the season like this with a win over Oklahoma, win the CIC, winning 10 games, it's incredible and special, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, there's something really beautiful about us coming together, having a plan. Like, these are our goals. This is what we're going to set out to do, and we know how to get there. It's just the buying in and having everyone on the team buy in right away. It was like, we want the same thing. It was amazing to watch, and the growth to see everyone had from January, from the off seasons all the way through the season. Young guys stepped up and played a huge role on this team, and it's been amazing. Like, for us seniors, we couldn't have done none of this without the younger guys as well. But them trusting us and our leadership styles, it was just something that was so beautiful to watch and grow. And I'm just as honored and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have, being as a senior, to watch these young guys grow and develop, and having them, they have their first bowl game experience and first bowl game win. So,
Colin, Justin, I guess on their last touchdown, were you anticipating them going for two to win it?
No, I didn't know, to be honest, but I was glad they did. I didn't want to go to 5-6 overtime, so that was okay.
Yeah, that was my thought process too. I was like, here we go. I thought we were going to kick it, but
yeah, that was me too.
It's something we always talk about, those type of moments where it's make or break on the game. Who are you going to be when the pressure's on? And just seeing everyone in the secondary did a hell of a job covering the back end to give us time to get the pressure. Everyone had their points in the quarterback. No one blinked. No one hesitated. We all pulled the trigger, and it was awesome to watch that stuff happen.
Y'all obviously talked about the unity as a team, trusting your guys. You see the graphics on ESPN about the daily schedule of a military academy football player. How has all that training y'all do off the field, obviously for y'all's career after the game, how does that translate to success on the field?
I'll start, but I think every guy's going to say the same thing. It's just the fact that every single one of us does it. There's not a single guy who is put above the rest, I guess, if you know what I mean. There's no one that gets special treatment. There's nobody that, NIL is looking to get $5 million or something. I know what Alex is doing on a day-to-day basis. I know the work that he's putting in outside of football, outside of, every other thing that he has to do. And I know Jay Reed and Colin are doing the same things. And so, we talk about shared experiences, and all of us have gone through it, and I think it just brings our team even closer, just knowing that every single guy has to do that, and the amount of determination and resilience that they show every day. I think that's what brings us so close.
I think it gives us an edge, too, on the field a little bit, knowing that we're most likely tougher than the guys across from us. They don't go through what we do. And like Blake said, we're all there in the same boat. And I think, that just gives us a little bit of an edge. Maybe it makes us a little angry, that, we have to, have these long days and, wear dress shoes to class and, eat not the best food, but, it is what it is. But I won't get into that. Getting a little mad here, but no, it's awesome. It really is. And I know all these guys at the table and the rest of the team, they don't see themselves at any other school. This is the best institution. I can't see myself at any other school. I love these guys. I think you were the closest team in the country, and I think it shows in the field.
Got one over here.
Yeah, for any of you guys, a lot was made about Coach Newberry's Oklahoma roots, and he talked about playing Boomer Sooner in practice to get you guys ready for this game, and how he grew up an Oklahoma fan. Did he talk about that at all, or was that any sort of extra motivation for you guys?
No, yeah. I think we just had our assignment. We have our game plan going into it, and that was our main focus. And that's something that we just kept in our mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just the prestige of Oklahoma is what gets you up for the game. You don't have to make a big deal about his roots and trying to prove something wrong. The opportunity that we had, I think everybody understood it.
He definitely preaches nameless and faceless, when we're going to a game, and it's hard to do that when you walk out to warm-ups and there's a 7-foot guard or whatever, but I think whatever team we're playing, it's not about them, it's not about the crowd, it's not about their coaches, about the fans, it's about us, and I don't think anyone believed we could do what we did today except for the guys in our room, and I stand by that.